Ahoy hoy, friends and enemies! Now that I finally finished my long-awaited special guest video, I can just get back to making these on the regular. Oh man, it's nice not having to worry about things for a while. Issues 87 through to 90 for the Sonic stories, Mr. Shifter, The Ultimate Nightmare, and two-parter The Tomb. For the Knuckles stories, we have The Good, The Bad, and The Enchilada, four-parter. For the Tails stories, only two. For issues 87 and 88, it's Easy Target and Small Change. For the other two issues, it's just Decap Attack, and I don't cover Decap Attack on this video series. Maybe I'll do it sometime down the line, but I won't do it here. So we're pretty much clear from Foresee stories in the foreseeable future for now. For the Sonic's World, the last two parts 2 and 3 of Future Shock, A Singular A New Hope, and the first of two secret weapons. On the planet Meridian in the Special Zone, in New Tech City, Sonic the Hedgehog is very troubled. He can't get back to the planet Mobius, because the Omniviewer is stuck with Supersonic inside him. Hopefully Tails and the gang are doing fine without Sonic, but if Dr. Robotnik grabs wind that Sonic is off-world, ooh, they're in for trouble. Hopefully he won't notice. Sonic hears screaming in the distance, and runs down the flat buildings. Mom, I saw a super fast blue hedgehog. It's just run down the side of a building. What have I told you about making up stories? I suppose you're still being followed by Mr. Hefty, the invisible hippopotamus. Sonic finds a mugging happening in an alleyway. He grabs a bullet in midair and saves the red-headed fair lady. Nobody really knows who Sonic is on this world, so he allows a demonstration. But it is not an ordinary mugger, it is in fact a Mr. Shifter, a deadly shapeshifter from the Black Zone. You mean you're not just a big ugly purple guy who's made out of plasticine? You jerk, I'm made out of radioactive metaclay, which means I can harden to the consistency of concrete. On the other hand, I can also keep my body soft. You can't beat me, you dumb hedgehog. An enemy that can be solid when he wants to, and intangible when he needs to. He uses his metaclay to harden around Sonic's shoes, sticking him in place, punching him senseless. Sonic grabs his solid arm and then just spins him around, vibrating him at Sonic speed, which turns him back into silly putty. How far can you stretch him before it breaks? He grabs the now spaghettified Mr. Shifter and then ties him up around the entire alleyway. However, the woman has mysteriously disappeared. At that instant, in the Metropolis Zone, Citadel Robotnik, Agent X-19 has returned to Dr. Robotnik. It's the woman! Apparently she was a spy sent to investigate whether or not the Special Zone could be invaded, and tells Dr. Robotnik that they found someone interesting. Next up, the Ultimate Nightmare. They confirm it, that Supersonic is slowly reaching the end of the screen. Johnny B confirms that he was moving earlier, but he never tells him of the stuff, because every time he does, he gets yelled at, and they respond by yelling at him, just proving him right. They need to devise a plan in order to take down Supersonic once and for all, otherwise they could be in big trouble. However, Mighty notices a box that they found. They open it and they get hit with some sort of sphere toxin gas. It's the Meridian City Crime Syndicate once again. They've shrunk themselves into the box and used it as a way in. Apparently we'll find out about this shrinking device next issue. Apparently, the villain decides he wants to use Supersonic as a slave in order to prevent him from, destroying his mansion again. However, Sonic was not hit with the fear nightmare gas thingy-mabob from Lightmare. Sonic taunts the character I can't remember the name of, I think it was Biohazard or Toxic Hazard or something, and then manages to get him to hit Lord Sidewinder with a big pile of toxic goo. They do have an antidote, but it's back at their lair, so I guess they just gotta leave in order to save his life. They shrink down once again and climb back into Lightmare's box, and the box vanishes. The Chaotix crew recover from their nightmares, and Sonic reveals that Lord Sidewinder revealed the name of another character, Knack the Weasel. The Tomb. Sonic finally manages to get a Skype call into the rest of his friends back at their safe house. He gives the short version of the catch-up with Supersonic and them being trapped in the Special Zone, but he's still trying to find a way out and to get rid of Supersonic once and for all. The Freedom Fighters will have to do without Sonic for a little bit longer. The Chaotix take a Charmy-shaped ship, you try saying that 3 times faster, and they have a new plan. Bring Supersonic to the biggest mine in the Special Zone. Leave him in there, and then detonate a graviton bomb which will seal up all the tunnels, trapping him forever. Maybe. They hear something, but SBO dismisses it as a bit of debris colliding with the ship. But in actuality, it was a tiny spacecraft, featuring a tiny Knack the Weasel. They approach and enter the black asteroid. Knack the Weasel has bloodshot eyes, but he's getting paid big bucks in order to retrieve Supersonic. He returns to his own size and knocks everyone else down a few pegs. However, the chummy ship crash lands. He probably should have waited until they parked, but oh well. He then grabs them into a hamster ball and keeps them. Sonic, although shrunk, is not in the hamster ball. Where has he gotten off to now? Oh well, doesn't matter. Sonic is so small he can't stop Knack now. Sonic's super spinball attack is only like a mild inconvenience. It takes all of Sonic's effort in order to knock off the hat. Apparently, the casings on Knack's hat are what keep the size-changing McJibbles. Knack once again shrinks down to Sonic's size, but apparently he keeps going. He's continuing to shrink until he is shrunk into nothing. Eventually, the Chaotix are returned to their own proper sizes, and then they continue with the plan to explode the mine. They release Supersonic into the center, knowing that they will imprison both him and the Omniviewer. Hopefully, when Supersonic escapes, the Omniviewer will be able to teleport into safety. That's assuming that Supersonic gives him the chance. Detonate the Graviton Bomb! We've all seen what he can do, and if Supersonic does ever escape, he'll be madder than ever. Mighty, don't even think about it. Knuckles, the good, the bad, the echidna. Knuckles is still dragging his chest a long way, just to make it back to the floating island. How's he even gonna get it up there? It's flying. Suddenly the ground starts to shake. Is it an earthquake? No, it's a stampede of giant ostrich chicken things. It seems that there are some flying gauchos riding pterodactyls? Seems like they were looking for this eye-patched rooster. I'm gonna call him Big Boss. Because Big Boss have a KFC sandwich. Because KFC have a Big Boss sandwich. Knuckles emerges from the hole he hid in, and it seems that the gauchos have accused Knuckles of starting the stampede. Knuckles tries to negotiate to talk down, but he gets zapped with an electro stick. Big Boss says that it doesn't seem to be any evidence, but the Rabbit Man says that, well, they got nothing else, and they're bringing him in to Backwater City. Why do these things always happen to me? Tain't no good trying to escape. That brand new cell arrived from Metropolis City only last month. He's right. My Knuckles can't break through solid steel. Big Boss again states that they have no evidence and nothing to keep him in on. So the deputy just says they'll hold him until the sheriff returns from out of town. The deputy's father being the mayor. Apparently, Big Boss and the mayor are in the same business, herding all those chicken things. Okay, I shouldn't say chicken things. I'll just say ostrich things. That way I can differentiate him from Rooster. Knuckles and Big Boss talk a little. Apparently, he was the only supplier of the animals until he moved in onto their territory. Something shady about all this. Cheeto the Rabbit and the mayor start speaking to each other in an old-timey bar. Apparently, Big Boss was the initial target of the stampede. He asks about Knuckles, because he's clearly innocent, but there's a way to keep him from pointing fingers at everyone. The deputy and his men take Knuckles outside, and they're having an old-fashioned lynching. But before he's hanged, the sheriff arrives and shoots off the rope. I leave town for a few days only to come back to this. Y'all go home, you hear, before I lock y'all up. Well now, Sheriff, there's a couple of complaints I'd like to report. For almost killing an innocent man, the deputy has been fired, and threatens to tell his father. The sheriff offers Knuckles a chance at being deputy. Big Rooster Boss leaves off on his pterodactyl. Why do they ride pterodactyls? In order to get his herd back, in order to Metropolis City, otherwise he'll miss the markets. They speculate that Cheeto was behind the attempt on his life, but they can't say for certain without any evidence. The folks in the pub speculate that it was Boss Crouch, the mayor, that tried to do it. And in arrives Knuckles. He catches the ire from Cheeto the Rabbit. Now are you looking for me, amigo? Didn't your folks warn you against playing with guns? This gun-drink accident makes the entire bar go up into a bar fight. As it's getting a bit crowded in here, why don't we take this outside? Crash through the window. Talk, Cheeto. You work for your boss Crouch, don't you? It's you who's been trying to kill Rooster. No more, senor. I admit it. Where's Crouch now? I want to talk to him. He left town. Decided to try and kill Rooster himself. Your friend is as good as finished. Yeah, we'll see about that. The good. Rooster, the one-eyed rancher, is driving his herd of apteryxes to Metropolis City in hope of making a good price. The bad, Mayor Boss Crouch, one-time sole supplier of apteryxes before Rooster came along, that is. He aims to be the sole supplier again. The Echidna. Well, if you needed to be told who the Echidna is, you're reading the wrong comic. Hey boss, I thought I was never going to find you. Cheeto, I told you I was going to take care of the Rooster personally. Things have changed, boss. Knuckles is odd to you, so I thought you could use a little extra help. You had your chance to kill the Rooster, but you bungled it. You mean it was you who asked me to kill the Rooster? You know it was. What are you jabbering on about? Will that do? Sure sounds like a confession to me. Surprise. Egads! He took the hat and did a ruse on the mayor. Knuckles goes off to take Crouch. The sheriff will take the men. Mayor Crouch is chased to the cliff face. He reveals a vial containing a chemical compound which is the scent of the most feared predator, but 100 times more potent. He tends to throw this into the herd, and they'll all stampede Knuckles to death. However, he gets too close to the edge and falls off. The vial has smashed, and the herd stampede him. Judging by Knuckles' stunned reaction, I believe he's dead. I think that's the first character in this comic book to die. I think Archie's comic book was faster than this. So, Boss Crouch saved you the cost of a trial, eh? He didn't stand a chance. It was not a pretty sight. Here's your chest, Knuckles. Safe and sound. Sure looks heavy. It is. Well, I think I can help you there. And off Knuckles goes on his flying pterodactyl. Finally, he can make it back to the island. Tails in Easy Target. Constant badnik attacks on the planet Mobius. Nobody is safe for long. Not even this funky-looking unicorn dude. Tails swoops him to save him, but he's easily overrun by the much larger badnik. He's about to be squished until the unicorn uses some sort of magic powers in order to disarm the robot. Clearly he didn't need help at all. Your help is appreciated, my friend. My name is Forlock. I am a visitor to these parts. Tails is stunned. Magic powers? Yes, I have certain abilities, including the power to grant you a wish as a reward for helping me. Really? Well, I'm not sure what to wish for. Think carefully, Tails. What do you desire most in all the world? Well, I guess what I'd really like is for Mobius to be free of the evil Dr. Robotnik. It shall be done. Whoosh! Tails is transported to a dingy-looking apartment building, and he's given some sort of rifle. Look out the window, Tails. That's a Robotnik down there. Yes, my friend. Now is your chance to make your wish come true. Now is your chance to destroy Dr. Robotnik. Just pull the trigger, Tails, and Dr. Robotnik will never menace Planet Mobius again. Remember, Tails, this is an opportunity to bring freedom to the whole world. Tails rejects the offer. He will not become a lowly assassin. Killing a man is wrong, even if he is an evil dictator. Whoosh, and he's back to where he was. What's going on? The previous few moments were an illusion, which I created to test you. Thankfully, you made the right choice. If you had pulled the trigger, you would have been as evil and ruthless as Dr. Robotnik. Continue to follow your good instincts, Tails, and one day your wish will come true. Wait, where are you going? What part of Mobius are you from? I didn't say I was from Mobius. And he's gone. What a weird guy.
What the hell was that?
Next up in Small Change. You know Grimer? Yeah, Grimer, that guy. Apparently he has a cousin, Slimy. He's pretty much in the same family business of making evil inventions. Of course, he wasn't good enough for Dr. Robotnik, so how good can he be? Tails is just out for a quiet stroll when he gets zapped with a shrinking ray. Well, there's a lot of shrinking rays in this issue. Tails has been reduced to the size of an ant, and unfortunately, the ants think he's on the menu. Even a small dewdrop could be fatal, but nothing's more fatal than the stomp of a giant robot. Apparently, Slimy is so lazy he doesn't even do his own dirty work for crushing all the miniaturized people. He's just gonna have someone else do it. But Tails, luckily, is the size of an ant and flies inside the robot, grabs a bunch of wires, and rips them all apart, making the robot malfunction. Fortunately, the shrinking device was only temporary. Huzzah. I'll switch to full power and shrink you into infinity. Zap. It reflected off the ass of his robot back at him, and now he's going to shrink down into nothing. Oh well, at least he's got Knack to keep him company. It's the little things that make all the difference. And now to continue with Future Shock. Previously it was revealed that Sonic from the future is in fact Sonic from the future. The DNA is a match. No way, this has got to be a trick.
Just get it through your skull, youngster. I am Sonic the Hedgehog. Now will you listen to me while I'm here or not?
Sonic still doesn't buy it. I mean, there's been shapeshifters before, like Metamorphia. But she lost her powers, so it can't be her.
Face facts, kid, I'm the real deal, so button it and hear my story. It all started when I was younger. Dr. Robotnik unleashed a weapon which drilled up into the streets of the Candlewick Green Zone.
This drill device burned all of Sonic's friends to ash. Jesus Christ, we're getting dark now. This episode has more death than the previous episodes.
Shocked by what I'd led my pals into, I offered no resistance when the troopers arrived. With no one to stop him, Robotnik turned Mobius into an even worse place. I blamed myself for what happened and became a prisoner of Robotnik's for many years. My escape attempts failed except for the last one.
Future Sonic announces he is here to change history. He ran so fast that he broke the time barrier. And even without Sonic's help, he's still gonna try and change the future. Since they haven't built the deadly drill machine yet, they can destroy it before it's finished, and so they arrive at Robotnik's factory. Sonic refuses to participate in this mission. They head into the caves underneath the Candlewick Green Zone, but now Amy sorta thinks that something feels wrong. He hasn't insulted Tails yet. Old Sonic blasts through a dead end, and shock! It's Dr. Robotnik. He's been working for Robotnik the whole time.
I've seen how you dudes get wiped out in the future. I had to trick you to get you here, but our only hope for peace is to follow Robotnik.
Ah, ha 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 ha! A glorious victory. He actually believes that.
What do you mean?
You're not Sonic from the future. You're a clone. I created you. And I helped. Sonic is indeed a clone. A cell sample was taken from Sonic the last time he was captured, and Robotnik attempted to use the clone to attack people and give him a bad name, but something went wrong with the experiment and he aged too rapidly. I'm pretty sure this is a plot to a Stargate episode. So he came up with a new plan, implanting a false memory. That way old Sonic would believe he's protecting his friends. But we ran tests which proved this guy was Sonic.
They proved what a good copy I am, Tails. Well, seeing as I have a copy of Sonic's powers, out of my way, creepos!
Old Sonic escapes, but the door slams shut before anyone else can leave. He catches up to the real Sonic, and he is utterly winded. He catches Sonic up with the story so far, including the fact that he's a clone and he is aging fast. Robotnik emerges from the ground in a new super suit. While Sonic rescues his friends from the troopers, old Sonic runs in a tornado around Dr. Robotnik, dismantling the entire machine until old Sonic can't maintain it anymore and Robotnik flies away. Hang on, buddy, maybe we can help.
No, Sonic, it's no use. I'm sorry I tricked you.
You pulled through and we needed you, pal. It makes you okay in my book. Old Sonic transforms into pure energy. That must be what happens to clones when they die. So he was a fake all along. Yeah, but that's okay, Johnny. Because it gives us hope for a real future. Hope that one day Robotnik will just be a bad memory. Sonic's World, a new hope. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare! With Sonic trapped in the special zone, the Freedom Fighters are completely outnumbered. And I mean they're absolutely getting their asses kicked in. Tails gets concussed, so he can't fly, so he can't save Amy Rose has been abducted by a bird. Fortunately, the bird gets blasted, and before she plummets towards her death, she gets rescued by Shortfuse the Cybernick. Gives a small reintroduction, because kids don't have the previous issues unless they're a die-hard collector. Why did I have to pick freedom fighting as a career? Because you wanted to meet interesting people? Well, here's someone interesting for you. Shortfuse the Cybernick, and he easily blasts out all the badniks. Since Sonic is kind of out of commission, he's invited to join the team. The loner Shorty is a bit hesitant, but since he's told that Sonic's out of town and a stronger team helps beat Robotnik, he's in for it. He's now a member of the team. And now, Secret Weapon. It's listed as a complete story. Isn't that interesting? In the Metropolis Zone, Johnny Lightfoot, in a Flasher's pervert cloak coat kind of thing, is sneaking around. He finds some sort of dodgy-looking mouse guy. Word on the street is Robotnik's created a new secret weapon. No idea what it is, but a platoon of troopers will be escorting it through the Gum Tree Zone in 2 days' time. As Johnny Lightfoot leaves, Robotnik arrives and says that the loyalty of this sneaky rat bastard will be rewarded. Later in the Gumtree Zone, the Freedom Fighters, plus Shorty, as a new member, are sneaking around around the trees. It's useful having a cyborg on the team because now he can sense when the enemies are approaching. If you think the electronic sensors were impressive, get a load of the electronic blasters. They shoot up the troopers. They can't hit tails, he flies too fast. The next trooper gets punched in the face. And another gets impaled with a bow staff. Another gets shot with a crossbow. Wow, this is a smooth operation. Now let's find out what's inside the crate. However, it smashes open from the inside. It's not a new Badnik. It is in fact a new Cybernik. Vermin the Cybernik. That's the rat bastard that sold Johnny Lightfoot the information 2 days ago. This was a setup. Well, Shortfuse is a Cybernik as well. If he can resist the brainwashing, he can too. Get real, squirrel features. I wanted to be a Cybernik. I'm stronger than you, Shortfuse, which makes me unbeatable. Oh balls. And that is the conclusion of this episode. Here's a funny story. When I woke up this morning to record, I forgot to eat breakfast, which explains why I was so hungry at lunchtime. Ultimately, I just had cereal for lunch. See ya later, folks, and remember, eat breakfast. Don't do what I did. Eat your breakfast.